Hey up, it's Steve from the Old Yorkshire Geek, and welcome to my top 10 of my favourite streaming series of 2024. It's a pretty, mixed list, to be completely honest. But there's at least two Taylor Sheridan series in there. But anyway, we'll go through the list. These are my favourite ones, not necessarily the best ones. Obviously, I haven't seen everything that has been on this year, and but these are the things that I've watched, and some of them I've binged. Some of them were weekly things, but some of them were something that I binged. So if I binge something, I generally like it. But anyway, so we're getting to the list. Number 10 is Dune Prophecy, which is from HBO. And in the UK, it was shown on I think Sky Atlantic and Now TV. A spin-off of Denis Villeneuve's Dune movies. And I really enjoyed it. A lot of people, didn't really think much of it. It's about the formations of the Bene Gesserit Sisterhood. It was originally going to be called Sisterhood, wasn't it? But they changed it to Dune Prophecy, and it is pretty good. I'm not sure about how they've worked the Harkonnens and the Atreides. They seem to be wanting to generate sympathy for the Harkonnens and depicting the Atreides as kind of, I don't know, almost like terrorists. But anyway, I suppose it depends how you look at it. But I still did enjoy it this first season, and I'm looking forward to season 2. It's like fascinating stuff, really interesting. All about thinking machines that they're not supposed to use, but people are still using them. It's set long before the events of Dune. Thousands of years before the events of Dune. And it is really, really good. So there we go. So that's Dune Prophecy. At number 9, we've got Fallout, the series from Amazon Prime Video, an adaptation of the Bethesda video game. And I enjoyed this as well. I thought it was pretty enjoyable. Some people say, no, it's going to be woke and all that. A lot of these things, they do sprinkle stuff in, woke things. Girl bosses and all that stuff, whatever. But I did enjoy this series for the most part. It had some good action in it, and it was funny as well. It had some funny parts in it as well. It stars Ella Purnell and Walton Goggins and others, but they're the main two that we're following. And it is a fun series, for the most part. But that will be number 9, Fallout. At number 8, I've got The Boys season 4. Which, I've enjoyed all the Boys seasons. Some people say, the first season's the only good one. And then it got woke after that, that dreaded W word. And I do kind of agree. It did, but I still enjoy it. Mostly because it's disgusting. The thing I don't like about The Boys these days, and the same with the spin-off, I forgot what they call it now, that spin-off series set in the school. I forgot what they call it. They hate men. But I find the stories interesting enough to keep watching, and I like to see how they dispatch people, with increasingly gruesome ways, and that makes it fun. It's a comic book, isn't it? But anyway, obviously it stars Carl Urban, Jack Quaid, Erin Moriarty, who had a weird face change. But anyway, less said about that the better, and various others. Anthony Starr, obviously, as Homelander, who has become the star of the series. No pun intended. But anyway, The Boys season 4 is a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to season 5, which I think is going to be the last season, I think. Right, what are we up to? 7. Number 7 is Black Doves, something I actually stumbled across on Netflix. A British spy thriller. Starring Keira Knightley and Ben Whishaw and Sarah Lancashire. It's almost, I don't know, I've not really followed Sarah Lancashire's career. She's a British actress who rose up from the soaps and became this, one of the top British actresses. But, I wouldn't have known it were her if her name wasn't high on the credits. But anyway, but it's Keira Knightley and Ben Whishaw. They're the main two stars. And as I say, it's a spy thriller, but I'm not sure if the government spies, or if it's like a government agency that acts autonomously. I don't know, because they say, we do stuff for the highest bidder and stuff like that. So I don't really know. But it is really good. It is really good. Again, the W word got to be in there. Ben Whishaw, who is, an LGBTQ, etc. Actor. His character, is openly LGBTQ. I think the only sex scene in it, if I can remember right, it might not be. Saying that, no. Yes, I'm going to say it. The only sex scene in the film is between Ben Whishaw and this fella, and it's pretty grim viewing, to be completely honest. I suppose unless you're into that sort of thing. There are other love scenes in it, but anyway, whatever. The series itself is really, really good, and it's got some good stuff in it. It's a good spy thriller along the lines of James Bond. Ironically, because Ben Whishaw played Q in the Daniel Craig Bond movies. But it is really good and worth a look, and it's only 6 episodes, and it's on Netflix, and everybody watches Netflix, don't they? So there you go. So basically, it's free, isn't it? So there we go. So that's Black Doves. Right, next up, number, I don't know what we're up to, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I'm counting, I've got a list. I've got my list that I'm looking at on the screen. Is Yellowstone season, is it 6? Is it season 6 we're up to? Or is it 5? I can't remember. 5, season 5. Okay, I'm shaking my head, you can't see me, I'm shaking my head. Season 5, which I think is the last season, I think. It seemed to wrap up. So I don't know. I'm not actually sure. Let me check on Wikipedia. Is it going to be a season 6, or is it? Yes, the 5th season is its last. Right. Okay. All right. And there's going to be a sequel series called The Madison coming up. All right. So looking forward to that. I hope Beth's in it. Famously, the series starts. What am I like? The series stars Kevin Costner. But famously, he and Taylor Sheridan, who created the series, had a falling out, and he left the series in mid season 5. So there was a pretty big gap, a mid-season break, pretty big gap. So they just killed the bugger off mid-season. And some people are on Kevin Costner's side, for this dispute, and some people are on Taylor Sheridan's side. I could give a monkeys. I think it's just Hollywood egos clashing. But I've got to be honest, I did kind of laugh. I'm thinking Taylor Sheridan's there saying, F you, Kevin. I'm just going to kill you off. The character, that is. But anyway, I really enjoy Yellowstone. It's really good. And I've not seen the spin-offs, is it 1880 something and 1883 and 1923. I've not seen those, and I've heard they're good as well. Some people say they're better than Yellowstone, but I've not seen those, so I'll have to give them a go. They're on Amazon in the UK. No, they're on Paramount Plus. They're on Paramount Plus, but you can get that through Amazon. That's how I watch them. Paramount Plus through Amazon. Anyway, stars Kevin Costner, Luke Grimes, Kelly Riley, who's amazing as Beth. Some people say it's Kevin Costner's show, but for me, all I want to see is Beth and Rip, played by Cole Hauser. They're the two main people for me. Is Beth and Rip. I've seen Cole Hauser in other things, and when I was watching it, and I saw Cole Hauser's name in the credits, I was waiting for him to pop up on screen, because I thought I knew what he looked like. I've seen him in stuff like in that film The Cave, something like that, and I saw him with Pitch Black, and he looks completely different in Yellowstone. Obviously he's older, but he's like 8 foot tall and 10 feet wide and big black beard and stuff like that. He plays like, essentially he's a murderer with a heart of gold and all that stuff. But anyway, so that's Yellowstone. It's really, really good. It's all about a ranch in Montana. It's gripping stuff. It really is. Wes Bentley's in it as well, who plays a slimy character who, spoilers, gets his comeuppance. In the final season. But anyway, so there we go. So that's Yellowstone. Really good. I like that. Number 5 is The Penguin, another HBO series. It's obviously over here. It was shown on Sky Atlantic and Now TV. A spin-off from Matt Reeves' The Batman movie. And some say it's better than the Batman movie, and I would agree, because this was a really, really, really good crime drama series. I don't know if it were like The Penguin. Obviously, he's playing the Penguin, Oswald Cobb. So it's not even called Cobblepot. So in my head canon, it's not really the Penguin. And we don't see Batman in it, although we do see the bat signal in it. And I think Batman is mentioned briefly. Sometimes I think like in newspaper things and all that. But it is really, really good, and it's about Oswald, about the Penguin's rise as essentially a heavy for the gangsters that rule Gotham City. His rise up into becoming, a crime lord himself, and it is really gripping stuff, and well worth a look. And Colin Farrell, he deserves all the awards for whatever, all the Emmys and whatever's going to get thrown at this series. You would think they would anyway, and it's really, really good. So that's The Penguin. Right, at number 4, back to Taylor Sheridan. This is Landman. Starring Billy Bob Thornton, Ali Larter, and various other people that you don't really care about. Oh, Demi Moore pops up in it, who's just won a Golden Globe, hasn't she, for The Substance, a film which I didn't like, but never mind. And John Hamm as well. It's essentially just Yellowstone again, but in oil fields. Instead of being on a ranch in Montana, it's in oil fields in Texas. Billy Bob Thornton's, he's the landman of the title. And it's it's about drilling for oil, and Billy Bob Thornton is a problem solver, so to speak. He goes around and sorts things out, but it is a hilarious script, and Billy Bob Thornton is astonishingly good in it. Ali Larter's a bit annoying, but she's good as well. She's essentially like Beth from Yellowstone, a strong woman who knows she's a woman and knows what she wants, but playing. Billy Bob Thornton's ex-wife, but it's a lot of fun. It's Landman. It's really good, and it's still actually going. We're still in the first season, so it could all go to pot for all I know. But there's only 2 episodes left for me to watch. But that's a good one. Is Landman. I'm looking forward to seeing what else comes. I think a season 2 has been announced. I'm sure I've seen that somewhere. I could be wrong. I might be thinking of something else. But anyway, Landman. There we go. That's my number 4. At number 3, Masters of the Air. This was an Apple TV show, which you can watch on the Apple TV Plus app, or whatever they call it. And I think through Amazon. Amazon must be raking in the money, allowing stuff like Apple and MGM, which they own now, and Paramount, and all these other, like Shudder, and all these other services to go through their app. I just wish they'd sort out their subtitles. Amazon's subtitles system is bloody awful, but I wish they'd sort that out. Anyway, Masters of the Air is essentially the 3rd Band of Brothers series. We had Band of Brothers, which is one of the greatest TV series ever made, and then The Pacific, which I wasn't a huge fan of, to be honest. But Masters of the Air, I really enjoyed, and it was back to form for this type of series set during World War II. It's about bomber pilots, B-17 pilots and crew during the Second World War, and it's really, really good. Some amazing effects in it, and it's really super exciting and great characters and all that stuff. And it's first time I've noticed Austin Butler. He's super famous now. He's been in everything, into, but I think the first time I saw him were in this, and he's really, really good in it as the main character. And we also get a brief role from Ncuti Gatwa. He's in as a black American pilot, like Red Tails, when he's one of those pilots. The Tuskegee Airman is one of those, and he plays a good part in it. He's really good in this. So there we go. So that's Master of the Air. Give that one a whirl. Right, number 2, The Gentlemen. Another series from Netflix, created by Guy Ritchie, a spin-off of his movie, which I've not seen, because it's not on Netflix. Why is the movie not on Netflix? It's not on the UK Netflix anyway, and I've not seen it, so I don't know. So I don't know if it carries on, or if it's just a completely different story. I don't know, but it's really, really good. It's The Gentleman. It's another thing I binged. Stars Theo James as Edward Horniman, the 14th Duke of Halstead. That's why it's called The Gentleman. He was a dragoon captain serving in the United Nations peacekeeping forces in, I don't know, I think it was somewhere in Eastern Europe or somewhere like that. And he gets called back because his dad's dying. He was played by Edward Fox. That's my Edward Fox impression. Played by him, who's dying. And his brother is Frederick Horniman. He's the eldest brother, and he assumes he's going to become the next duke, but his father, in the will, leaves the duchy or whatever to Eddie. So problems ensue there, but the whole series is essentially Eddie Horniman bailing out Freddie from all his shenanigans that he gets up to, because he's mental. He keeps doing things. It's so annoying, but you can't hate him because I don't know. It's just the acting in the series is amazing, and it's hilarious, and it's got good action in it. Vinnie Jones is really good in it, in a subdued role, I suppose you could say, as the gamekeeper of the manor, and who also, spoilers, who also turns out is the father of Eddie and Freddie's sister. So, but the breakout character for me is Susie Glass, played by Kaya Scodelario. I've never heard of her, but she's astonishingly good in this, and I hope to see more of it. It's also got Giancarlo Esposito in, as obviously playing a kind of a baddie. But anyway, so give The Gentleman a watch. It is really, really, really good. One of the best things I've seen for a long time. And so we're at number one. Can you guess what my number one's going to be? I'll probably get a lot of boos from this, but my number one favourite series of 2024 was Star Trek Lower Decks Season 5, the final season of Star Trek Lower Decks. A series which I initially hated. I despised it initially when Season 1 began. I saw the first couple of episodes and I thought, I can't watch this, it's bloody awful. And I was cajoled into giving it another go, and I ended up falling in love with it, particularly with the California class starship. But anyway, Season 5 is the final season. I'm putting it in air quotes because you never know. We might see the crew of the Cerritos again. But the crew of the USS Cerritos having shenanigans with multi-dimensional fractures. It's all fun and games, and it's a lot of fun. And we see there's been a lot of talk recently about them decanonising Star Trek Discovery. They haven't decanonised Star Trek Discovery. They've just shown that things can change between universes, and other multiverses or whatever could have Discovery style Klingons in it. Essentially, that's what it said. It's not decanonising Discovery at all. If anything, it's solidifying that the Discovery universe is there, and we can't get away with it. But anyway. But there we go. So that's Star Trek Lower Decks, let's say. Starring Tony Newsom and Jack Quaid, Noel Wells, etc. The crew. Jerry O'Connell as the crew of the USS Cerritos. Jack Quaid, we also seen The Boys, so that's twice he's popped up in my list. So there we go. Good old Jack Quaid. He also pops up occasionally on Red Letter Media, so give that a go on YouTube. So there we go. So that's my top 10. We'll go through it again, shall we? And then you can say, what the hell have you been watching? Watch some good stuff instead of this rubbish that you're talking about. But number 10, we had Dune Prophecy. At number 9, Fallout. At number 8, The Boys, Season 4. At number 7, Black Doves. At number 6, Yellowstone, Season 5. I think it's Season 5, Part 2. I think it's been like a couple of years since the first half of Season 5 appeared. But anyway. At number 5 is The Penguin. At number 4, Landman. At number 3, Masters of the Air. I nearly said Masters of the Universe then. Masters of the Air. At number 2, The Gentleman. And at number 1, Star Trek Lower Decks Season 5. The final season. So there we go. So if you agree with what I've said about my favourite series, streaming series of 2024, let me know in the comments. And while you're there, while you're down there, hit the like button and subscribe. Throw me a super thanks and stuff like that. Become a member. And you'll get exclusive access to some videos and early access and exclusive emojis and access to live chats when they do live streams and all that jazz. So there we go. So that's my top 10 streaming series of 2024. Huzzah! So we'll leave it there. So thanks for watching. Wherever you are, look after each other. And until next time, I'll see thee.